Hey, what's going on, guys? It is Street Crypto here, back for another video. In today's video, I want to talk about the Keep network and its token of Keep. It's currently sitting at $1 with a 52% increase in the last 24 hours, hitting a high of $1.13 in that time, with a market cap of $600 million and a volume of $818 million. So this is really important because there's been a 3,000% increase in volume in the last 24 hours, and I'll get a little bit more into that later. But looking at the all-time charts, we can see that Keep has all-time highs near $2.20, and this was reached back in about June of 2020. Since then, it has lows of 20 cents, and then we've seen a run up in the last month alone. Having a look at the month, we saw a massive run up here and a massive run up here. I'll get into that a little bit later, but if you don't know what Keep is, essentially Keep is a incentivized network for storing and encrypting private data on the public blockchain, and the Keep is made of off-chain counters, containers for private data known as Keeps, while the Keep work token enables it to be completely permissionless. So Keep is much like encipher in my last video, and Keep is a privacy token slash ecosystem. So it's part of the privacy data in crypto. And as I mentioned in my last video, privacy data is going to be really big when crypto starts becoming mass adopted into daily lives, because people want to have protected privacy on the blockchain as well. But I'm going to get into some stories now. All these stories are very similar to my last video, so if you want to see more in depth into them, check out my encipher video. But essentially, there is some news that broke out with a partnership between encipher and Keep. And essentially what they're doing is a hard merge slash hard fork upgrade, and the merger will see Keep and NU merge into a single protocol called Threshold. So there was a timeline released just yesterday for this Threshold merger. And some of the important things I want to mention are possible things coming up between mid-November to December. So as I mentioned here, they'll be doing everything from council elections to allocating rewards and apps, and then implementing encipher and Threshold DAO proposals. So one of the things, also another thing I want to mention is the governance contract, the vending machine contract, and the staking contract. And they said once these are live, we will be ready for staking rewards and funding of the Threshold only coverage pools that will be complete by the end of December. So what this is saying essentially is staking could be live by the end of this year, and next year this Threshold merger or Threshold token will be launched by 2022. And that is a really good sign to see, as things are going to change very quickly for both the Keep and encipher networks. But the main thing I want to mention in this video is the Keep token and where I think it's going. I'm just going to reload this page because I'm broke and I don't have TradingView Premium. But what we've seen here is this is the encipher page. What we've seen here is very similar to encipher. So encipher and Keep are very similar in terms of price action. As we can see here, we got a massive run up on the 15th of October from 50 cents to $1.17. So that's a gain of nearly 100 to 150%. Since then, we've seen a correction back down to major support at around about the 64-cent level. So if we have a look here, we can see that there's major support here. Even though we wicked below it, we've always closed really above this level within the last month or so. And then recently, we saw a massive run up just here towards $1.13, where we saw a wick above it, but we closed below it as well. So the main thing I want to talk about and mention is where Keep is going. For the short term and for the long term, I think Keep and the encipher ecosystems are only going to grow, especially until December, where we see the merger come to life. But the main things I want to talk about is the short term. So Keep saw this wick above it to $1.13, but as I mentioned in the last video, the bulls don't look super in play, because even though we're wicking to these levels, they're not closing because there is so much volume. People are selling and buying very, very quickly in a very short amount of space. So obviously price fluctuations are going to be huge, as we noticed today with a 50% increase in price. But it looks like we're starting to form a similar trend line to here, where we get a massive run up and then we start to form some kind of triangle like this. So I expect us to do this again, because usually history It doesn't repeat itself, but it usually rhymes. And it just looks like the move is mainly based off a bunch of hype around the new merger. And eventually hype usually dies down, so just be a little bit careful. Even looking at the RSI, we look super overextended right now, and with this massive volume that we've seen, it just looks likely that we're going to come down to test support and consolidate for a bit longer. So I imagine the support would look something like this. We would test a downward trend line like this, and either just keep bouncing off it until we reach around 75 cents. Our first actual support is at about 80 cents, but the major supports are at 75 and then at about 60 to 65. So if you're looking to place orders, I would place it somewhere in this region of around 75 cents to 85 cents. So somewhere down here if you're looking for buy orders. Now, things can change very quickly for both of these tokens, obviously because it's backed by a lot of news and hype. So if we break down support at 75 cents to 60 cents, it looks likely we're testing at least 50 cents again. But I would say that is unlikely at this point, just because this news is really, really good. And I think it's found a base at around the 63-cent level. But I would say likely for the short term, testing somewhere between 63 cents and 75 cents looks very likely again. And if we get a rebound off the 70 cents to 80 cents level, we could actually see us test a the trend line again. And if we can manage to get a breakout, we could see another retest with a push up towards back to $1. And then what we really want to see is, even though these pumps are really good, we want to see some kind of consolidation near $1, because eventually we're just going to break down like we've seen here. We just want to see some kind of consistency and a little bit of easing off the volume, because once volume starts to diminish a little bit, we can actually find a proper base for setting buy orders, because obviously the Keep and NuCypher tokens are heavily inflated right now. Even comparing to just a month ago, we saw Keep at 40 cents and it's now at nearly $1. So I'll just be careful with buying these tokens, because we are near short-term all-time highs. Now Keep's all-time high isn't actually $1 on Binance. Its all-time high was hit around about $1.20, but its all-time high is around $2.20, I believe. Just be a little bit careful, because this move is heavily inflated, as I mentioned before. But that was just a quick video on the Keep token and the Keep network. If you guys want to check out any other cryptos, let me know down below. But I'll see you guys in the next one, and peace.